Hey guys, welcome back to the live stream. We're working on my personal Ford Transit. It's a 2019 low roof 148-inch van. This is what it looks like. And we're putting on the AVC rig roof rack, which is, as far as I know, the one that looks the best for this van. And it's the widest too, which makes it really nice for big, wide solar panels up to 60 inches wide. So we're on the left side. We did the right side earlier, and we're just kind of putting this together bit by bit. But if you missed the last video, what I did over here is when you're working on a Ford Transit, there's already holes inside the top of the van, but the issue is where the roof gets laid on can sometimes be offset enough to where you're going to cross thread these bolts. So what we want to do is get a Dremel, and we're just going to drill out just the side here to get it lined up. Okay, that's pretty much it. So now, this will be able to go in there without cross-threading. So all I need to do is just hit it with just a little spray of rust preventative, and we can move on to the next step, which is lining up the brackets. Now, lining up the brackets is really important because earlier I was talking about how the brackets aren't aligned left to right. What will happen is if you have some really tight tolerances with solar panels around the left and right hand side of the max fan, what will happen is you may need that extra 1/4 of an inch, and because you offset the roof rack like you weren't paying attention, that extra 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch might rub on these max fans. Now that won't happen initially with your new max fan, but what happens over time is that plastic might bend out, and so you just don't want to be in that situation if you can help it. And so I'm just going to hit this thing with one spray. That'll get me nice and where I want to be. I'm just using Rust-Oleum. Doesn't really matter the color. Also, you can see I've been putting this tape on here. It's like I'll show you the brand in a second, but it's made for like RV max fans, air conditioners and stuff. It's just like almost like a butyl tape. And that is what AVC rig is using. So I'm going to try it on my personal van. I like to use the foam gaskets that Flatline Vanco has or other roof rack companies have that are made onto this, but AVC rig does not have that option, which you don't have to have everything perfect, but I would rather put maybe some window weld or something like that, because I don't intend taking these off ever. But yeah, we're going to, we'll just check these out for right now. I'm gonna let this dry for a minute. And while that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rail on this side. If you missed me taking the heat gun and getting the plastic caps off, you can check the live stream from earlier today, and it'll go over how I did that. It's pretty straightforward. So now I'm going to get the other side, bring it over here, and keep on working. If you guys have any questions, just hop in the chat. I'll be happy to answer any questions you got. Let's see if I can move this camera over a little bit. All right. What'll be really interesting to see is when we get to a point where we're putting the cross members in, I'm going to see if I actually need to move the brackets at all. So I haven't really clamped down on them too hard. I do anticipate that I'll need to move them. Yeah, so far it's been a just straightforward install. I haven't really had to reference directions or anything like that. So. Well, left it on the other side. The benefits of the low roof rack is you're going to be able to get a lot more area covered on your roof. As you go up in roof racks from low, mid to high, you actually start kind of sacrificing rooftop storage. But if you guys know my opinion on that, I think you should only put the essentials on your roof rack. So I don't think you should have any type of gear storage up there. As you go higher up in the van, at center of gravity, you don't want it too high, because it will change the way the van drives. I do have a video online. It talks about, is your van too heavy? And that one is a great video to watch if you're concerned about how heavy your Ford Transit is getting. So it goes through the weights and stuff like that. It talks about getting your van weighed at a weight station, like a CAT scales sort of thing. So yeah, check that video out. All right, so this is kind of where I wanted to get, because I'm going to put the rear cross member piece on, and I'm going to see how much it pulls in or out. Because I'm assuming this is where it needs to be, but it may not be where it needs to be. Yeah, so let's get some more tools and let's put that first rear piece on. I'm gonna see if I can back the camera up just a little bit without making it fall off. All right, let's see if I can zoom out. All right, so we're gonna go on the back. And I'm going to find out what size Allen head we got here. There we go. So 4 millimeter. And I also think that these rails are 10 series 80/20, about 99% sure. So we'll do our first one all the way back here at the very back. Now this is my personal van. This is your van. Probably want to get like a towel. It feels like we're right on the money as far as where the brackets, where we might put the brackets, so pretty happy with that. And so my experience, you don't want to tighten the base, these feet, until this part that I'm installing right now is put on here. Now we're planning on putting a RTX 2000 rooftop AC on. So that's another reason I'm putting this in the very back. All right, looks like we got a question. Yeah, so Carefree Highway, this is a kit. I'll send you a link. Okay, let's hop on the computer really quick. So I've already got these pulled up from the previous live stream, and this is what we got. So what we're using is this company. So it's AVC rig. And we've got we're going here, and here they got components for your van. And then down here we got the Transit Low Pro V2. For a low roof, this is the only one that I've found that I like the way it looks, besides being like a contractor style roof rack. If you have a high roof, medium roof, you can go with some other options like Flatline Van Co. has another roof rack. Another company is Unaka with another style roof rack. So there's a bunch of different ones to look at. I'll just go ahead and copy this link so you have something to check out. So that's what we're installing or finishing up installing tonight, if you are interested. Okay, so I want this pushed all the way forward. Okay, so far, so good. Both of my dots are lining up. This rail looks pretty good. I think this middle part I need to push out a little bit. But this part at the end, yeah. So this rail right here at the end, I'm pushing all the way back. And looking at my third brake light, it looks like it's right where it's supposed to be. So we'll find out later how good it is. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's not tweaking this at all, so I think we're doing pretty good alignment wise. Okay, I think our paint is dried enough to where go ahead and put this middle bracket on. Okay, looks good. All right. Okay, it's in place. I'll temporarily screw this in. Then next, we'll get some screws and we'll lift this part up. So I'm just temporarily tightening this one down. No, if you got a Nissan NV3500, there's companies that they make roof racks for that. Those companies that I showed you, they are particularly Transit, Sprinter, and ProMaster. Yeah, I'll get online here in just a minute and show you ones that might work for your setup. So when I'm installing these over here, I'm lifting it up as high as it goes in the bracket. Next, we're going to put a rail right here, and then we'll move up to this next spot. And we're doing this front to back because we want to make sure we're not getting any like weird like bending and bowing. If we do, these bottom brackets are going to need to change their position. Now you can move these wherever you want to. I'm just putting them here for setup. That's what I'm doing. That way, once these are in, I can actually tighten down these brackets all the way. Yeah. So, I mean, this is off just like a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch. It's perfect. It is perfect. Okay, that's looking good. Now, like I said, you'll want to adjust those to wherever you need them to be adjusted to. These are what are going to support your solar panels and other rooftop accessories that you might install on your van. I also have a DIY van build course that's now available if you guys want to check that out. One thing that I talk about in the course is layout and design. And one way that the roof rack helps with your layout and design is there's sometimes some things you want to do inside the van, but if you don't have the right roof rack orientation or spacing, it might make it really challenging to get what you want to get. And by the way, if you guys have any questions that have nothing to do with roof racks, I'm happy to answer them too. This live stream is just really to chat about van builds, so yeah, whatever you guys are wanting to talk about, just let me know. So I can see right here, this is the first thing that I was talking about earlier. Well, actually the gap is about the same. Okay, that's fine. This gap on both sides, again, doesn't have to be perfect, but it's nice if you can get it perfect, I guess is what I'm saying. So we got about 1/8 inch over there. This one's a little more. It might be the way they cut the holes out. That's fine. So I'm gonna try to get this bottom 2 bolts in. If they can fit, then I won't worry about how perfect this top part is. Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay, let's get another cross member up here. We're going to put one probably right here. Let's see how many we got left. We've got 3. Okay, perfect. That will work. Have some got some aluminum filings in there. I'm trying to get them out. And my threads. Yeah, make sure you got clean threads, because what'll happen is these aluminum screws and aluminum, the threads will gall really easy on this stuff. Yeah, this is doing really good. You can see here, this is just fitting in perfect. Now, I mean, it does help once you have one or two of these cross members in, everything just kind of dials in. So you just want to have it nice, this roof rack nice and square before you tighten your bases down. So at the end of this live stream, I'll go in and we'll shop for some NV 3500 roof racks. Okay, so we got three more. So we're gonna do one right here. And then we'll start doing the front fairing. The fairings, they tend to be challenging just because you're having to kind of dial in the fit. We'll work on that in just a second. So Carefree Highway says, I ordered a low stool on with the wheels with the backrest to make putting up the ceiling of my van easier. I think a good idea. Probably keep it so I'm not crouching down on my knees, moving around the inside. Yeah, anything that you can do to help you with building your van, I recommend. Protect your knees. It doesn't matter how young you are. Just to make it easier. Because you still want it to be fun. You don't want it to be super hard. Or, I mean, not enjoyable, I guess is what I'm saying. Like those foam kneeling mats. I use those a lot in the shop. I've got 2 of those. One's got a bunch of epoxy on it from the when I install lawn seal floors, so I've got like a dedicated one that's kind of messed up. Man, they really have a lot of residual from metal from drilling and tapping these holes. It's to be expected, but I know better. I should have blown them out with compressed air, but it's all good. Because I'm actually just going to be taking these out in a little bit anyway, so. This one will definitely come out because I'm going to try to mount a solar panel all the way up front here. looks pretty good. It's not so perfectly straight. That's also because the material is kind of maybe we'll get this front part, it'll tighten it up a little bit. You can't notice it from the sides, but you can kind of notice it from the back. Okay, so let's put this front bar on. Then it will allow us to put the fairing on. Two, three, four, five, six. So I'm going to change the camera over here. So this may be hard to see. Let me get this box out of the way. So what we're going to do is we've got this essentially 80/20 hardware. And we're going to slot it in these channels so that we can put our fairing in. What I do notice is I've got two. I need some more. See, what am I trying to say? I need two more of these screws that look like they're missing in the kit. All right, guys, for you just hopping on in here in the stream, we are installing a AVC rig roof rack for a low roof Ford Transit. Just happens to be my personal van. We're doing a little work on it. What we're doing right now is we're getting the fairing installed. So we're getting ready to slide these 80/20 components in here. These little roll-in T-nuts. So we'll get them as close as we can, and then when we lay it on there, we'll dial it in a little bit better. But pretty much these pieces just slide. They slide in, and if you've never used 80/20, it's a really good material to use work with in vans. Super strong, light. It is expensive. That would be the only downside, I'd say, is it's quite costly. There's some off-brand 80/20 products, but if you can use 80/20, it's good. You can also use just 2x4 construction. I've done that before. Doesn't have to be completely perfect. All right, so now we're just going to lay this on here. And we're just making sure that before we put it on here, we can actually find, we can dial in these little roll-in T-nuts, they're called. All right. Hey Rod, welcome back. Yeah, at the end of the live stream, I'm going to go through some products from different websites. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna put this fairing on, tighten some bolts, and then we'll get into a little Q&A. I meant to put Loctite on these, but it's hard to make the call on Loctite because if I need to loosen this and adjust it for any reason, I don't. We'll just keep that loose for a second, and then we'll come back to it. All right, let's install this. Yeah, keep the questions going, guys. Load them up, and then that way when I get finished here, we can go over all the van building questions you got. I'm going to zoom in to the front. Where this front fairing is going. Hopefully this is not a two-person job. It is just me in the shop tonight. Actually, I got to go through my bolt pile. Well, actually, I'm just going to rob a screw from somewhere else. I'm 2 screws shy on this one somehow. I will say, guys, the front fairing on here looks really nice. They did a good job designing this. It looks like they have these support brackets that I need to put in right here, these guys. So I might just put 2 in. It looks like it needs that butyl tape as well for these installs. I will say, besides the butyl tape, I will have to, I'm going to have to lap seal around all the plates. Not super confident that the way that they suggested doing the butyl tape is going to work, because the roof rack makes the roof crown just a little bit, and what that's doing is the outside of the bracket is lifting up about 1/8 of an inch and the inside is smushed. So okay, get my tools. All right, 2 more pieces and then we'll hop on. We'll hop on for Q&A. So yeah, load up those Q&A while I'm finishing this roof rack. Well, here we go. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I like this little bracket up here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but just like a little kickstand foot. It's just supporting this overhang. There's 2 on the front and then there's 2 on the back. So I'll put the 2 on the front. I'll do the 2 in the back off camera. I'll do it some other time so we can get some questions. This side is much higher than that side. Okay, I might lower. Okay, that brought it down, but not, it didn't bring it down enough. Huh. Let's see if we get, Ford Transit roofs are weird, so it's possible that everything's fine and this is just like off a quarter of an inch. Stuff's not perfect. All right, guys, we are zooming out. Roof rack is pretty much 95% installed. I just got a couple more bolts, but that's pretty much it. Just pretty straightforward. We're gonna hop into oh yeah, good point, good point. Let me see if I can show you that. Carefree Highway, good point. So you can do that to conceal solar. So check this out. You can inset the solar panel in here. The solar panel does not have to be on top of this rail. So for example, if I go over here and I go to my little box of solar parts, and we pull out a box of Renogy brackets. So, and this channel is for anybody that's new to van building, DIY. This is like, you want to tell everybody about this channel because this is what I do. I help you build your DIY van. And then if you give up, you can call me, Odyssey Custom Vans, and I'll build your van for you. But this is the bracket. And let me show you how this works. So it may be simple, but you know, hey, if you've never done it before. So let's zoom in to this part of the van over here. Let's see if we can do a little example. Yeah, you can, the rails actually don't have anything to do with hiding the solar panels down in there. That has to do with the bracket. Now, for this example, imagine this max fan is not here. So just focus on this rail. So most people will mount the solar panel like that, but there's another way. Just flip this upside down, and then now your solar panel can sit inside the bracket. Now with these brackets, typically a lot of manufacturers use this 10 series. So I bring this in and I drill a new hole. Then this is where my solar panel sits. You can actually go and buy these that are black, painted black already, anodized on Amazon. But you can have it so that the solar panel sits inset, if that's what you want to do. So you can sit them down in here. You can even bolt them up under. So, and by the way these rails are in here, this is temporary. When I get the solar panels in here that I want, I'll show you how they're going to be essentially different as far as how they're connected. All right, got a bunch of questions. Let's see what we got. All right, let's check out Sprinter 170 high roof rack. That is what you were looking for. So if we go to, so AVC rig is the widest roof rack that I know of currently. I don't think they have, okay. So I don't think they have roof racks. So let's go to my next one. Let's see Unaka. Only reason I do Unaka is because it's the next company that has Let's see, products, roof racks, Mercedes Sprinter. We're going to do Sprinter 170 high roof. Rod, was yours an extended? So there's the Unaka one. I think Unaka is really nice. Unaka is very nice. So here's an example. I'll just copy this. Now, Rod, if you have the extended high roof, you just go on their website, you can find a different one. Yeah, Carefree Highway. This is one that I haven't drove, obviously. So the 1.0 and 2.0 of Flatline Vanco, those are quiet. The Unaka is, I think, the most quiet that I've installed, just the way the fairing is designed. This one I'm anticipating is going to be fine. It's my personal van, so I'm not too... yeah, widest is the best. Yeah. I'm curious why other companies don't make them any wider. I know you want to put an awning on the side, so I've got a Fiamma that we're going to put on here, so we'll check that out later. Yeah. So that is pretty good. What else was I going to tell you guys? Yeah, these are great questions. Do we have any more questions? Let me reset the camera. So I'm actually going to measure these Renogy 100 watt panels. These are 21 inches. Yeah, that's perfect. You can see these Renogy panels are 21 inches. I'm going to pop one up here just to give you an example. This is a great example. Let's see, I'll move the ladder to the other side. This is why it's important. Make sure you got a wide enough roof rack. All right, so we're going to pop a 100 watt Renogy panel. So you got two of these. This will give you an idea of what I'm talking about with the Max fan. Try not to scratch my van up here. But you'll immediately see, sort of example, you'll see how close this solar panel is to the max fan. So you see, there's enough room, but you see how if the roof rack was adjusted left or right too much, even by 1/4 of an inch, you know, that could affect the way that works. So yeah, this gives you a good example of how close that is. Now I've got plenty of room. I've actually got, I've got about a solid 1/2 inch of room with that. Let's see, if I took this panel, actually curious how this would actually fit up here. It might be pretty good. But what I'm showing you right now, you don't have to do this. What I would do is actually, I've got another solar panel over there. Let's see here. Okay, so here is this one. I'm gonna slide the ladder over. Yeah, 58.5. So 58.5 long. So this one would. So Rod, if we go, actually, hold on, let me fast forward. Oh, I see. Yeah, Rod, the Mercedes is 55.25 on that roof rack. So those solar panels would be, the one that you have is too wide if you wanted to go wide. Now, as far as being narrow, you might have to do a different orientation, I guess is what I'm saying, for your roof rack. So instead of going left to right, you can go front to back, is probably what you're going to have to do. But 28 to me is also, I just think, I don't think, those numbers seem too big at the current moment, Rod, if you're going to use this. Now, what you can do is you can mount it on top of the roof rack. That you can definitely do that. So it might be hanging over 1.5 inches on each side, but that's not the end of the world. That's not a terrible thing. Okay, let me see how wide these 175. Let's go to Renogy. What is up with Renogy's website? Okay, so I've got a 175. What if they even sell it? Do they still sell it? That's another thing too, is these solar panels, they start to not carry a certain size anymore. So if you lay your roof out, oh, that's right, Rod. I think you got the DIY van brackets. Is that right? All right, let me measure this solar panel. It's 26.5. 26.5. $53. So 53, and then these are $52. Yeah, the DIY 80/20. Okay, yeah. By planning on that roof rack, yeah, you'll be way more flexible as far as what you can put on your roof. So that's good. Yeah, so I'm just messing around with the layout on the roof here because I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put my air conditioner. All right, guys, I'm going to put you on pause for a minute. All right, guys, I need to end the live stream. These questions are awesome. Thanks, Rod and Carefree Highway, for tuning in tonight. yeah, keep the questions, keep the chat going on the comments after this, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'll go over layout and kind of talk about what I'm thinking about. And we will talk about that mini split thing. So yeah, tune in tomorrow. We'll probably do 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live stream. But yeah, thanks guys so much for watching. And yeah, keep the chat going in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.